What is up, beautiful people of the internet? I'm Wesley.
I'm Stephanie.
This is Wes.
Steph.
And this is Wes. And this is Wes. And
You're gonna restart?
no, this is Wes and
Steph.
when we're reacting to BTS MBTI Lab number 1. We've talked about it a few times, but we love Myers-Briggs. We have so much fun. All of our friends and family, like we all took the test. We all joke with each other all the time. One of our other favorite channels that we don't react to is like Frank James, who literally just does Myers-Briggs skits all the time.
We watch it every Friday.
It's a meme in our friend group. So I'm so pumped for this. We've always tried to guess their Myers-Briggs too, so I'm so pumped. I have no idea what this means, but I'm very excited to see what person.
See if you can figure out what we are. I think it's really hard out of context.
That's fun. Yeah, because
see.
we're reacting. I don't know if this is on YouTube. I don't know if this is Patreon, but regardless, thank you for watching and we love you very much. So let's hit, baby.
자, 여러분 먼저 시청자분들께
Lab
인사를
codes,
드리고
baby.
시작해볼까요? 둘, 셋,
안녕하세요, 방탄소년단입니다.
Hello, BTS. We are Wes and Steph.
이래라 방탄
Good
괜찮을
to
것
meet
같은
you.
정말
그러니까
이벤트장과 자,
굉장히
자 한번 외쳐보면서 시작하겠습니다. 고쳐라 방탄! 여러분들
There we go.
고쳐는 네, 고쳐라 방탄 네 아니고요. 오늘 사실은 저희가 이제 한번 특별편으로 이렇게 한번 모이게 됐는데 저희가 무엇을
Why
하기
does
위해
Jin and V look like actual doctors?
V does look like a doctor.
Jin and V look like
Where's Jin?
actual doctors. I feel like J-Hope looks like a dentist to me for some reason. I don't know why.
He does.
V looks like a surgeon that they call in when it's like a specially dramatic case.
And then Jungkook is like, "Why? How did I get here?"
이곳에 뭐였는지 한번 설명해 줄 수 있을까요, 슈가 씨?
네 오늘 저희가
Suga looks like a chemist to me.
Yeah.
MBTI
MBTI.
MBTI 네, 방탄소년단 MBTI와 그에 대한 것들 이야기를
I'm so pumped.
준비한 시간인데요. MBTI 연구 앞서 여러분들 그게 뭔지 알고 시작해야 되지 않겠습니까?
그렇죠. 자,
We know what it is.
MBTI는요 개인의 선천적인 선호 경향을 알아보는 검사로 현재 세계에서 가장 널리 사용되고 있는 심리 검사라고
It's
합니다.
fun.
본인의
It's so
심리적
fun.
특성을 이해할 수 있는 것뿐만 아니라 타인을
And before a psych major chimes out in the comments like, that's not supported by the research. It's not the most well researched. Use the MBTI or the Big Five personality. Those are more.
Okay, nobody else can hear or understand what you're saying.
Oh, I think I like Myers-Briggs even though it doesn't have the most amount of research supporting it necessarily because it's the easiest to discuss with friends and family. And so it's the easiest entry into personality psychology out of everything. Even though MBTI and Big Five are more well-researched, they're very hard to discuss with people who aren't psychologists or have a psychology degree just because they're not as...
User-friendly.
Yeah, they're not as user-friendly. They're not as integrated into pop culture, you know?
Thank you, Mr. Psychology.
MBTI 검사를 예전에 한번 다 같이 해봤었죠?
해봤죠 몇 번.
아마도 2017년도 페스타 때
Oh, we should react to that too. I guess maybe we don't need to if we react to this.
아무래도 이제 시간이 많이 흘렀으니까 업데이트된 방탄소년단의 MBTI 팬분들도 많이 궁금하실 거라고 생각합니다.
Mine changed. One letter
맞습니다.
swapped.
본격적인 이야기 나누기 전에
'Cause I'm
정식
borderline.
MBTI 검사를 저희가 한번 해보도록 하죠. 시작하기 전에 여러분들 이 검사에는 옳고 그름의 이 정답이 없다는 거 모두 알고 계셨으면 하고요. 따라서 자신이 평소 이 편안하고
See, Jin, great bedside manner. Definitely
Yeah.
family practitioner.
He is, you're right.
Area. I'm trying to figure out RM and Jimin. And right now, I can't figure out what medical profession they are.
They're not a medical professional.
RM just looks like a rapper to me.
They're
still.
like actors who are in cool outfits.
자연스럽게 이 느끼고 행동하는 것에 표시를 하시면 됩니다.
나한테 좀 더 가깝다 이런 걸 표시하시면 되고.
내가 이거다.
정답이 없어요, 정답이.
네, 검사를 한번 시작해 보겠습니다.
네.
시작하시죠.
I'm so pumped.
I know what V is.
시작해.
Somebody told me in the comments.
Well, but we'll see though, because they're probably going off of the 2017 score.
Maybe.
So, because this video is like brand new. It came
Oh,
out this
really?
week. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's
We're
see
on a
if it
BTS
changed.
video like in a reasonable amount of time for once in our lives, right?
또 어디를 다녀오고 싶을 때 나는
Oh, you know what RM looks like? RM looks like the Wonder Kid researcher that like went through Harvard when he was like 6,
he does.
right? And now he's like working with all the 70-year-olds, and he's the one who's like, I'm on the
Brilliant.
cutting edge, and I do cool slang, and I'm sassy.
나는 이게
I will find Jimin. I will figure his
그러니까 이게
profession
사실
out.
그런 게 어디 있어요? 어쩔 땐 계획하고
Like the cool research kid that the gang
Yes.
gets to save the world.
다고 하더라고.
네.
그날의
Don't overthink it. Very
아, 이거 내가
studious.
하던 거랑 좀 다르네. 좀 구체적이네 이건 좀.
아 그래?
이게 그거래요.
They ask different questions sometimes.
Ooh. Oh, so they didn't do the official test last time. They did like when you pull off internet.
아 이성보다 감정보다 이성. 괜히 이런 거 되게 신중하게
Bro,
된다고.
the official versions of this type of stuff are so expensive.
Really?
Not I don't think Myers Briggs is as bad, but like MBTI and stuff like that can be thousands of dollars for the official version.
Is this an MBTI?
내가 논리를
What?
것 같아.
MBTI? Are you saying N?
와, 46번 질문.
Have I been misspeaking? Am I missing my acronyms?
과목을 좋아하는 편.
Yes.
There's one that's used in clinical work. Like, it's an evaluation that's used in clinical
Mr.
work.
Psychology, you just
I
lost
asked them.
all credibility.
Damn it! No, there's another one that's super well researched. It's a diagnostic test that like they use in clinical work. It's the most well established.
It's not MBTI.
It's not MBTI. What is it? Shit.
둘다 없지 않아요?
그러니까.
어떻게 해야 되지?
It's like a diagnosis.
너무 내가 이렇게 하면 어떻게 나올지 보이는데 내가 이걸 고를 수밖에 없는 이 내가 이걸 찍으면 내가 뭘 나올지 너무 알겠어.
그래?
아, 그래요?
얼마 안 남았어.
Yeah, sometimes you can overthink it.
제출 이런 거는 원래 탁탁탁 하는 거야.
That's how I feel, yeah.
몇 번 해보니까 이거는 막 고민하면
Exactly. Don't overthink it.
대로 다 정해야 된다고 이거.
Whichever one appeals to your soul. So who's last? Who
I figured it out. I figured it out. Jimin is the person who's doing their residency. That's what I feel like.
Okay.
Jimin's doing his residency
All right.
at a hospital.
Let's see what they are.
자 여러분들 MBTI 검사 다들 어떠셨나요? 자, 꽤 고민하게 되는 선택지들이 좀 있었던 것 같습니다.
아 힘들었어요.
그리고 저희뿐만 아니라 많은 분들이 MBTI에 과몰입을 하셨는지 MBTI 관련 밈이 굉장히 많다고 합니다.
맞아요.
There are.
But like
There's
no
a big
joke.
meme culture.
That's why it's such a good one to introduce people to this because
Yeah.
the memes help you understand it way better than listening to an academic explanation of,
Yes.
of the other
You're like,
things.
that made me laugh. I get it.
Oh,
now.
I get it now. Oh, that's how it is? Ah, that's so funny.
그래서 짤들을 보면서 서로의 MBTI 유형을 추리해보면 어떨까?
여기 있네. 처음에 이제 빵 관련된
네, 빵이네요, 빵.
빵이요. 일단 저는
Bread.
빵을 먹지 않아요, 식빵을.
저도요.
저는 그거예요. 그 집게.
I'm looking. Let's go a little Western stuff.
But yeah,
so
you guys
everyone
need to
can
be able to see this.
Oh, there's like bread. INTP is in the packaging. I don't understand this
I don't
meme.
understand the
At
first
all.
meme, if I'm honest.
I get this one not whatsoever.
I don't even understand the difference.
그걸로 따지면 ENFJ나 INFJ가 나와요.
Oh, like how do you package your bread when you throw it in the fridge?
아니 이거는 원래 들어가 있는 집게를 다시
봉지
재사용.
집게가 있으면
Like if you put your empty loaf back in the fridge, how do you do it?
이렇게 과자 같은 거 먹고 나면
아, 이게 긴 집게예요.
거
아, 오케이.
그거 써요.
솔직히 전 다 귀찮고 그 왜 물병 같은 걸로 그냥 물어놔요.
Well, this is not accurate for
저는
me.
이렇게 이 INTP, INFP 이것처럼 그냥 이렇게 접어가지고 이렇게 밑에
That's what I do.
저도 약간
I do the
요즘
spin.
예, 솔직히 영어는 조금 억지 같다. 병뚜껑 나오고
I just I grab it and I spin it, and then I just
tuck
go
it.
like that, then stick it in.
I just
Which one
hold it.
is a spin?
한국
I don't think a Korean made this meme. I don't think an American did either, to be honest.
I think an American might have.
아니 이거는 식빵을 자주 먹는 나라에서 만든
그러니까
그런
이거는
거 아니에요?
America?
이거 만약 김치로
really
했으면 식빵이라서 패스하겠습니다.
오케이.
자 다음.
Yeah, it was too
로봇이
hard.
인간을 지배한다는 생각에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지.
Oh, we can't do this one either, Wesley.
Please take over humanity.
이거는 이거 너무
이럴 수가 있나? 근데 저는 이게 없어요.
뭐예요, 형은?
저는 그때 가봐야 알지 않을까? 라는 생각을 갖고 있어요.
이게
저도
현실적인
여기는
이유네.
저는 그냥 만약에 로봇이 나오면은 되게 두려움에 떨 것 같아요.
그래.
Baby, I'm set. I've been being nice to Siri for years,
He
just for
has.
this
He's
eventuality.
like, thanks, Siri.
I'm like, oh Siri, you're looking kinda hot today. Is that a new update? Ooh, you sound nice. I'm gonna be kept as a pet. You should hate me. I'm gonna be like, yo, can my family come too? And they'll be like, yes, because they
just
want to keep me
Wesley.
happy. I'm gonna be a pet. It'll be great.
무섭다고 없네.
나는 1번 같은 1번.
2번?
1번. 1번.
어떤 면에서 보든 일어나지 않을 것이다.
하면서 살기는 없을까?
운동하면서
로봇의
살기에는-
노예로 살기?
왜냐면은 인간에 익숙해지기 위해서 6개월이 걸린대요. 6개월 동안 그런 로봇이랑 살면 익숙해지지 않을까?
로봇이 맨날 때리면 어떡해요?
6개월 동안 맞으면 익숙해지지 않을까?
바보가 되지 않을까요?
넘어가시죠. 이것도 이것도 살짝
Bro, it's hard looking at memes in other languages.
Yes.
뭐죠?
MBTI 인생관이에요. 그래서 인생의 가치가 어디 있냐 요건데 저는 좀 맞는 것 같아요. 저는 재미와 즐거움을 위해 산다. 사실 저는 ENFP가 많이 나오는데
Oh, really?
재미와 즐거움을
He's an
위해 산다고.
ENFP?
I have a so ENFP. My association is that they're usually very random
They're crazy
and
people.
impulsive.
They're
So
impulsive, crazy people.
I like we have friends who are ENFPs, and I love them very dearly. But would I let them plan my trip?
No.
No. But would I want them on my trip? Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
They had so much fun.
I
at
thought
everything.
RM would be INTJ or something with an NTJ, something with J, because he's so
He seems
he
organized.
seems so disciplined, so organized. You're right.
인생은 아무 의미 없어가 정말 그 저 이쪽인데 그
What?
인생에 너무 아무 의미가 없다. 인생이 뭐 있냐 이런 느낌보다는 솔직히 별 생각이 없어요. 아 진짜 여기에 조금 가까운 게 진짜 별 생각이 없어요.
크게 의미를 두지 않는다가 맞는 것 같아.
그렇지 크게 의미를 두지 않는다.
나도 약간 그런.
Oh, that makes sense.
저는 이제
I think Jen is objective, not subjective.
Yes.
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 첫 번째 말이 좀 가장 근접하지 않나 생각이 들어요.
자신을 위한 삶,
네.
자신의 행복이 가장
만약에 타인이 행복하길 바란다면은 저를 위해서. 저를 위해서.
본인 마음
중요하지.
타인이 행복해지는.
맞아요. 사실 이기주의적인 마음에서 출발하는 게 이타주의의 원래
저는
시작입니다.
약간 좀 거기에 근접하지 않나 싶어요. 지금은.
재미와 즐거움, 태영이 재미와 즐거움.
I see myself in what Jimin said.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel, but to be honest, I have noticed that I feel like the better my way of maybe it's just rationalizing it is I'm like, oh well, the better I'm doing, the better that radiates and helps other people that are in my life and that I care about. So
He does say
I
this a
should
lot.
always make sure I'm doing amazingly because then I can do
Hint,
better
hint.
for
Wesley
everybody.
is actually in that top row.
또 아니야?
So are you?
아 그래?
오. 그러면 저
독특하네요.
아무 인생 의미도 없다면서도 또 그 다음 날 되면은
내가 행복했어.
좀 재밌네.
So P.
다르다니까.
Who said that?
That was V, right?
아.
저는 뭐 사실 저는 주변이 행복해야지 제가 행복해져요.
Aw.
저는 정말
A
적어요.
lot of our friends are in that row.
Yeah. That,
저는 주변에서 뭔가 되게 안 좋은 상황이면은 막 기분이 저도 안 좋아져요. 네, 저는 주변 영향을 좀 굉장히 많이 타는 스타일이라서.
아 재엽 나 요새 힘든데 10만 원만 주면 안 되나?
아, 형이 힘들다면 심하게 하지. 그 형이 행복해진다면.
자 과연 저희의 추측이 맞을지 이제 진짜 저희의
Alright, let's jump back.
all right. Let's see. Let's see.
확인하도록 하겠습니다.
자, 하나, 둘, 셋, 오픈.
ENFP for RM. I'm so
That-
surprised. I'm so surprised. If I was gonna
INTP
guess
for
like
Jungkook.
INTP, really?
That's really surprising.
ISTP for Suga. That one makes sense to me. I would have guessed. I'm surprised so many of them are P's. I would have thought they were J's. To be
None
honest.
of them are J's.
That's interesting. ESTP for Jimin.
야나
나
인팁인데?
INFP다.
나 INTP.
I used to be ESTP, and then I grew up, and now I'm an ESTJ because I have to plan. Otherwise, my life is in shambles. J-Hope a J, I get that. That makes sense. to me.
INTP for Jin. I'm surprised that so many of them are I's, and I'm surprised so many of them are P's.
So Jungkook and Jin are both INTP.
Maybe it's like
That's funny because we know one INTP, and he's also a crazy person.
야, N이랑 S가 바뀌었어.
근데 저는 항상 신기했던 게
You can be borderline on some too.
나도.
근데 중간은 맨날
Oh,
근데
really?
원래 그 정도가 좀 덜한 거는 바뀌기도 해요. 왔다 갔다
난 이거 진짜
If you're on the borderline too.
Yeah.
세개 다 바뀌었어.
아, 진짜 나도 많이 바뀌었어.
나는
이거는 자기
INFP 야.
가치관에 따라 매번 변하는 거니까
종이 보시면 정확한 수치가 있다고 합니다. 종이를 보세요.
종이에
Ah,
Thank you, RM, for
갈로
working
치고
with.
막 그것도 있는데. 왔다 갔다 하는 것들.
그래 나 S랑 N이랑 차이 별로 안 난데.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
borderline.
극단적으로 S와 N.
If you're borderline, it functionally means nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no, it doesn't mean anything. It just means like you're not gonna be the most indicative of the
The
extreme of that
extreme
type.
of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So I'm
나는-
ESTJ. I think I said that already. So like my JP though is not super strong,
Yeah.
but all my other variables are very, very, very strong.
I'm ENTJ.
Yeah.
T랑
Everyone here's
Y가 하나밖에 없어요.
P's
야,
though,
제이가
except for J-Hope.
I wonder if that helps them because they don't have super regular
Okay.
schedules.
ENFP. He's passionate, warm, imaginative, confident, proactive, and flexible.
Maybe they have to be flexible because they have. I imagine their daily schedules are very diverse.
And always changing. Like
Now, I've thought about, like, aside from everything else, I've thought about just, like, the logistics of doing what they do. And I was
Yeah.
like, man,
That'd be
if
very
I had their
stressful.
lifestyle where it's like, oh, today you're doing X, Y, Z, I'd be like, I can't do this. I need my routine.
You're like, I need a week advance notice.
I need my routine. I need to do
Yeah,
the
you
same
couldn't do
things at
this.
the same time
So that
every
makes
day.
sense.
So maybe it makes sense that most of them are P's, you know?
Logical, calm, adaptable, focused, skeptical, critical, analytical. That doesn't surprise me that he's a T.
Honestly, I'm mostly surprised at how many I's they are,
Yeah.
considering that they're in
Well, we knew Jimin was an E.
Yeah.
Extrovert. V, we knew he was an I.
well, I thought,
Although you guys told me he was an ENFP, and I was like, but it makes more sense he's borderline EI,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, introvert. That makes sense.
자, 여러분들 각자 결과도 확인해봤는데요. 이제 저희가 뭐 해야 되죠, BC?
요즘 MBTI
I thought that there would be a lot more extroverts.
Yeah, the
That's
only
the
ones are
main thing that
Jimin
surprised
and
me.
RM. What was J-Hope? Was he one?
나눠서 이야기하는 것이 유행이라고
Let's back it up. And we'll go forward. J-Hope, INFJ. See, I would have guessed J-Hope would be ENFJ.
Me too.
I would have gone E, maybe SN I would have been off, but F
That's
and then
very surprising.
I'm very
to me.
surprised. I wonder, do you think that maybe like they get so much stimulation and so much time around other people?
Are
that-
their results skewed compared to Gen Pop
Because, yeah.
they're in such different environments? I'd be curious.
Because I know for me, I took a test like when I had just worked a summer where I had like not really seen a lot of people, and I got super extreme extrovert score.
Yeah, because you were
Because
really,
I was like, I answered all the questions like, oh, I really want to be around people. I really want to be around people.
and because you weren't around people.
But then, because for the last 3 months, then I took the test again after I had more of a normal year, and I'd been around people, and it wasn't something that
It wasn't as extreme.
and I got I got like 100% previously extrovert, and then I got like 60%
Yeah.
extrovert. So I wonder if for them, they're constantly around people. Do you think that maybe this isn't indicative
Like,
of their
you like
underlying
your alone-
disposition?
Yeah, because that's the question is like, you like your alone time. They're like, yes, because I only get 5 minutes
Yeah.
every week.
I wonder because introvert extrovert is supposed to be like, oh, where do you get your energy from? But if you're getting way more people time than you would prefer dispositionally, you're always going to answer with introverted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that plays a part. It might play literally no part. I'm just curious. Jim was like, hell no, bring the people on. I don't care.
INFP makes sense to me for him. A lot. And he said he could borderline ISTP too.
Yeah.
자, 여러분들 각자 결과도 확인해봤는데요. 이제 저희가 뭐 해야 되죠, BC?
요즘 MBTI 유형별로 나눠서 이야기하는 것이 유행이라고 하는데
네.
이라고 하더라고요.
MBTI마다 생각하는 방식도 다르고 재밌는 이야기들이 많이 나오더라고요.
That's really
저희도 한번
fun.
해보죠.
그렇죠.
자, 근데 여러분들 여기서 중요한 건 MBTI로 모든 사람들의 성격을 절대 구별할 수 없습니다. 저기도
맞아.
보면 계속 바뀌어요. 그래서 재미로 봐주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Yeah, like we said, I feel like the main thing is just how what you're doing in your life can really impact what your needs are based on it's like how your actual disposition interacts with
Yeah.
how you're living, you know?
And sometimes even like the test, it might be easier to have somebody else take the test for you, like what
If
you
they
see.
know you really,
if they know you really well.
Because sometimes it can be hard to be what would be the word?
Objective.
Yeah, it's hard to look at yourself objectively, right?
Yeah, or it's also easy. Sometimes you can be like, oh, like if you just think about it, you're like, okay, am I an introvert or am I an extrovert? And if you talk to other people and they're like, yeah, I think you're an extrovert, you know, you might actually be one, right? Like,
Or you might not. It's
Yeah.
just because there's sometimes like sometimes
just because you have
people-
good people skills doesn't mean you're an extrovert.
Yeah, and there's sometimes like people get really tied to. It's weird. They like tie up their identity in being a specific variable.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, I am an introvert. Oh no, I am an extrovert.
We
And-
knew one person who did that.
그럼 이제 뭐 프롬프트에 나오는 밸런스 게임 질문 한번 보시고 본인이 생각하는 답을 선택하여 화이트보드에 여러분 적어주시면
That's fun.
Would you rather's always a great game.
자, 문제 나오네요.
자, 친한 친구와 둘이서 밥을 먹기로 했는데 친구가 말도 없이 다른 친구를 데려왔을 때
이거 말을 해야죠. 말을 해야지.
해줘야지. 한 명씩 발표를 해보죠.
그거는 좀 거시기하다.
I'd be so irritated.
전라도에 거시기는 많은 것들이 한쪽에
I'd be
있잖아요.
annoyed.
난감하고 불편하다.
I would be the person who did that,
혹시?
저는
but I'd
튀지
be
않고
annoyed.
You, really?
Yeah. Why'd you pause so long?
I don't know.
무서운 사람. 무서운 사람이네. 근데 되게 예의 있다.
왜냐면은 화나긴 하는데 그래도 어느 정도 티는 안 내요.
아 그래도 민망할까 봐.
V would simmer on the inside
Yeah,
and
he'd
be
be
like,
like,
we'll get even for this later.
네.
You've displeased me. My pleasure will be known.
누군데?
누군데?
그렇지. 그렇지.
어.
아 이게 그냥 즉각적인 반응이야.
Who's
저도
that?
비슷해요.
안녕하세요 할 것 같은데.
누구죠?
누구셔?
바로.
그렇지
아니,
누군데?
선생님 속으로 되게 불쾌하겠죠, 약간. 그러니까. 뭔데 말도 안 하고 데리고 오지?
저는 딱 이렇게 얘기할 것 같아요.
뭐함?
It depends. Are they coming to your house or are you meeting up at like a coffee joint?
I'm so-
And is there a logical explanation? Like, you know, I got stuck babysitting my kid brother today, so I brought him along. Or my friend's car broke down, so I brought them. You know?
I'm so like I would either be so angry or so just like more the merrier, good vibes, just depending on
your mood.
I'd be so extreme either way though.
진짜 머리 물음표 가능할 거예요.
Depends what you expected out of that
중에서 저는
cake,
Yeah.
right?
If it was just like I'm gonna vibe with the boys,
If you're gonna go play like beer pong,
I'd be like, oh, sick, more the merrier. If I was really looking forward to a
one-on-one in-depth
connection
chat.
conversation, I'd be so angry.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I made myself vulnerable to make this plan with you, and you do this to me.
일단 밥은 먹어요?
밥은 먹을 것 같아.
아 밥은 먹어볼게.
밥 중요하지. 밥 먹으려고 나온 건데. 우리 상관없음.
너 상관없는데
오히려 좋아.
even better.
근데 얘기해줬으면 더 좋았고
오히려 열려있어
Yeah.
새로운 인맥? 오히려 좋아.
마인드가 좋네.
봤는데 이 사람이 안 좋으면 뭐 이렇게 하면 되는 건데 그 순간만큼 뭐 모르니까 서로.
That's why. See, I don't know. I have a.
It depends on the
let's
vibes
be
I'm
honest.
getting from
This
the
video
person.
is like backseat quarterbacking.
Yeah.
We're like backseat quarterbacking therapy kind of, or like personality. I have a hard time imagining so many of them are eyes though. I really wonder if it's that need because like
Yeah.
dispositionally, to me, a lot of them
Well, I
seem.
definitely think Jungkook is, and V,
You think Jungkook
and
is eye?
Suga, and Jin. I think all four of them are.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only one who's I'm off on is J-Hope.
I don't know. Like maybe I just. To me, I would think Jin. If I was gonna guess the extroverts in BTS, I would probably guess RM, Jin, J-Hope, Jimin, and Jungkook. I would think would all be extroverts. If I was just
Really?
guessing, yeah.
Jungkook's always really quiet in interviews.
Really, I don't know. But there's quiet extroverts. I always got the impression he really liked being around people,
That's
even if
fair.
he wasn't talking a lot.
That's a good
That's the
point.
impression I got.
주말에 쉬는 시간이 생긴다.
But again, I'm backseat quarterbacking. They know themselves better than me.
주중에는 회사였으니까 주말엔 밖에 나가야 한다. 주중에는 회사였으니까 주말엔 집에 있어야 된다.
Sorry. I was at
회사였으니까
work on
주말엔
weekdays.
밖에 나가야 한다. 주중에는 회사였으니까 주말엔 집에 있어야 된다.
그걸 왜 나가? 였으니까.
제가 완전 이거다.
자 하나 둘 셋.
남준이는 A일 것 같아. 남준이 A 진짜.
That's the
나만
only
남준이
A.
나랑 좋아하니까.
맞아 나.
전
어우,
무조건 나가요 정말. 아니 이게 사실은 E랑 I를 가르는 대표적인 질문이에요.
야 어떻게 A냐?
이게 밖에서 에너지를 충전하냐 아니면 집에서 에너지를 충전하냐 이건데
그렇지.
여긴 또 다른 아니야 여기는.
아니 나는 그냥 사람들을 만나더라도 집에서 만나면 되잖아.
그러니까.
근데 집에서 만나면 맨날 똑같은 데서 만나잖아.
사람이 바뀌잖아.
근데 편하잖아.
새로운 공간에 가서 새로운 걸 먹어보고 싶은 거지 그 사람은.
It depends on my mood.
저는
남준이 진짜 어디
My impulse would be to want to stay home.
But
and
you
then
have more
Stephanie
fun
would
going
make me
out.
go out and I'd be so bitchy about it. And then we'd get there and I would have a blast. I'd be like, I can't believe you're making me go to this
Wesley
social
hates
occasion.
leaving the home, but as soon as
I
he's there,
love
he
it.
enjoys it. And he always forgets that he enjoys it.
I never want to leave.
진짜
아니,
잘 어딜 갔다
얘기가
오고
나밖에
잘
없어?
돌아다녀
나 너무
진짜로.
충격이야.
그래서 난 너 돌아다니는 거 보면 난 가끔씩 와 신기하다. 그러니까 야 체력 좋다.
너무 재밌는데 돌아다니.
뭐 부산 갔다가 뭐 어디 갔다가 뭐 다 가더라고. 너 인스타그램 보면
You know what is funny is the one ENFP that we hang out with consistently.
Yeah.
Is this that they're all like,
Oh,
wow, we're always
yeah.
like, it's crazy to me how much energy RM has. Our ENFP friend
She has
is
so
one
much
of the
energy.
people who is like,
Why
I'm-
aren't we doing something? Why aren't we
I'm
going out? Why aren't we doing
floored.
something?
She like gets up earlier than everybody, goes to sleep later than everybody, does more than everybody during the day, and I'm talking like physical things.
Well, we're talking like, oh, they went on a 10-mile hike in the morning, and now they're going to go on a 4-mile hike with us in the afternoon.
And then they're calling us like, hey, do you want to go do something later in the evening?
like-
And we're just like, and they stay up till like 2 in the morning, get up at like 5 in the morning.
They're
We're just like,
nuts.
you're a crazy
and they don't
person.
get sick. How?
I don't get it.
와 진짜 어떻게 저렇게 돌아다니지?
재밌는데.
그러네.
It's fun.
하루 종일 말 안 하고 지낼 수 아 이거는
Awful.
Oh, impossible.
Impossible.
Literally fucking no one is surprised at this answer from
난
us.
이거 오히려 말안 하고 좋을 수 있어. 왜냐면 핸드폰과 난 말하고 있는데 항상 이렇게.
나도
That doesn't surprise me.
유튜브와 나와야 돼요.
그 사람하고 대화 많이 하는데. 아니 근데 이게
아니 이게 대화를 해야 되냐 안 해야 되냐 이슈.
아니 이게 메시지 포함이에요 아니면
Ooh.
육성으로만?
육성으로.
모여서 꼭 뭔가를 이야기를 해야 된다.
맞아요.
아니면 그냥 뭐
그러지는
애인 느낌인 것 같은데.
잠시만 여기 B 계십니다. B 한 분 계세요 지금.
I'm surprised how many it's like A, B, A, A, A. There's like
Yep.
one person who's different.
설명 좀 해주시죠.
대화를 하는 게 그런 것 같아요.
근데 이게 지낼 수 있다 없다니까 진짜 하루 종일 대화를 안 하면 미쳐버리네.
하루 정도는 괜찮은데 웬만하면 대화.
아니면 경리 우리 다 해봤잖아.
I agree. I would keep mine at B. I don't want to talk to anybody.
막꼭.
Or I mean, I can't go without talking to anybody.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking
나
about?
친한 형은 경리하면 전화 맨날 와.
피곤해.
근데 뭔 전화야?
영통하면서
나 전화 제일 싫어.
통화는 좋아해요.
영통하면서 야 뭐 하냐?
나도 영통
뭐 먹냐?
나는
영상
경리하는
통화는
상관 안 했어.
좋아해.
I start talking to myself. Because
What's
I
the
have done
cases?
I've done like periods where I was very isolated for like jobs and stuff like that. And what ended up happening is I would just like walk in circles and like talk my ideas out to myself since I didn't have anyone to talk to. And I'll be honest, when I'm saying that, I would also like call Stephanie and talk for like 2 hours,
It's
right?
true. I married him.
영상 통화가 엄청 자주 오지.
난 영상 통화를 좋아해. 나는 문자, 전화 이런 거 다 싫어하는데.
Really?
Really?
문자가 싫고 전 전화가 좋아요.
그러니까 이게 좀
What?
달라. 이쪽은 약간 얼굴 보는 거 좋아하시는 분.
난 얼굴 보고
이쪽은
얘기하는
약간 목소리.
난 문자도 싫고.
That's
I only
really
really like
interesting.
in person, to be honest.
What'd you say?
I only really like in person.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't like texting. I don't like calling except you, obviously.
I like sending meme texting. That's fun. That's the only kind
Oh,
of
just like
texting.
sending memes to your friends.
Yeah.
I like what it facilitates.
전화 안 받아.
착하는데.
자 다음 토크.
이렇게 다릅니다. 예. 자 다음 유형은
Sees reality in specific paths.
자,
아니,
멍 때린다는
멍
것은 깊은 생각에 잠기는 것, 아무 생각을 하지 않는 것.
아니 멍 때린다는 거는 저
아.
말 그대로.
What does space out mean to you?
Yeah, not thinking about anything. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
생각을 하지 않는 것이죠.
아니 멍 때린다는 게
근데
사람들이 봤을 때
때린다는.
이러고 있는 거잖아.
이 상태지.
아니 생각. 무아의 지경을.
I
don't know, I do both.
난 항상
Wow, a lot of them
집에
space out.
가면은 맨날 이걸 좋아하거든요.
Honestly, with their schedules, I would not blame them for spacing
You
out.
need to space
I
out.
feel like I would space out if I was doing what they do, where you're so constantly stimulated and go go go.
You got to.
I would. I don't do it now, but we are stimulated so much less than they are. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine.
사람들은 아무 생각을 하지 않는 것이라고 생각하는데
But I am.
작은 생각은 해요.
자, 이거
생각 때문에.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can say spacing out is not thinking of anything, or you can say spacing out is like, oh, I'm thinking about, I don't know, do mustard seeds grow in Africa? And it's
Something
like
very
irrelevant to the
random.
conversation going on around me.
Yeah.
They're both spacing out.
But there are thoughts
Yeah.
there. Yeah, no, I get that. Sometimes you'll ask me, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, oh, I was just looking at the house. And I have thoughts flitting in and out, but not
But
like...
to me, I would describe you as spacing out.
Yeah.
Right? But not to you
여러분, 자,
internally.
1번이 N이에요.
그래 나 N인갑다.
근데 난 S인데?
근데 난 N인데?
나 N인가 봐.
계량.
Well, you're borderline. JK is borderline, right?
감으라는 거.
아 무조건 정량이지.
아 누가 A지?
Oh, I don't measure.
I measure.
아니 나는 왔다 갔다 해.
요리를 안 하면
저는 최근 막 요리 해보고 하니까 확실히 정량대로 계량대로 다리맛.
Agreed.
이게 보니까 B가 S예요. B가 S고.
This is ironic because I'm an N and Stephanie's an S, and Stephanie measures absolutely nothing. I have to measure everything. And then, like, Stephanie bakes without measuring. I don't even understand how that's possible. She's just like, yeah, I just throw this flour in, I throw this in, and it always turns out better than
I
mine when I measure.
approximate.
B가 N이야. 근데 저는 B거든요. 제가 왜 B인 줄 아세요?
요리 못해서잖아.
그렇죠. 제가 A대로 하면 요리가 그냥 가버려요.
That's how I feel.
감으로 한 다음에 짜면은 뭐 물을 더 넣거나
아니,
설탕을
잠시만.
넣거나.
I try to cook with instinct, and it doesn't work.
저요.
난 맞춰.
너 맞춰요. 정수기로 맞춰요. 나는
와,
450ml
진짜요?
딱 맞춰.
저도
With
450.
ramen noodles, you measure?
I measure, you don't measure?
한강으로.
You have to know how much water you're putting in.
No, you
Yes, you
don't.
do. If I don't put enough water, they could do something
No, I
bad.
do measure my water for the rice.
50이
when we make rice.
너 한강라면 먹네?
나 몰라 짜게 먹는 거 일단 싫어해가지고 그냥 뒤에 550.
This is so fun.
난 그거 원래
그냥
정량한 그렇지.
인가? 자 다음 질문입니다. 암기를 해야 할 때 나의 암기법은 무작정 외우기 아니면 암기해야 하는
Cramming.
것을 완전히 이해하기.
자 발표.
Completely
자,
understanding,
왜
I think, for
제가
me.
A인지 왜 B인지.
아니 저는 진짜
I
원래
definitely
암기해야
cram.
되는 걸 완전 이해해야지 제가 이해하고 암기가 되거든요.
Like in
근데
school,
그러기에는 너무
you
시간이
crammed.
Me?
맨날 거의 막판에 몰아서 하고 하다 보니까
그렇지.
무작정 외우게 돼요. 그냥.
무작정 외우는 게 짱이에요 사실.
It is the best.
일단 외워야지.
It's more
시간이
efficient.
부족해. 저는 일단은 뭔가 좀 이해를 해야지 암기가 돼요.
자,
나
봐봐.
무작정
Yeah, but if
외워서
you understand it, you don't really have to memorize it because you just know it.
Yeah, but I never got that far in school. I just studied for the test, did well on the
If it was
test,
a
and then
subject I cared
promptly
about.
forgot it all.
I would cram stuff I didn't care about. I would try to understand stuff I did.
Well, yeah, like English and history, you don't have to cram as much, but I definitely.
Oh, dude, I had to cram for history. Are you kidding? All those dates and stuff.
Yeah, if you had
That
to do
was
dates,
so hard.
that's true.
암기가 안 돼요.
봐봐. 제 봐봐 춤을 이해하잖아.
아 그런 게 있구나.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
right.
잘 추는 애들 다 B야.
와.
Whoa.
That is cool.
Whoa.
That's really interesting.
Whoa.
That's why I'm not good at dancing.
Okay, so I'm gonna nerd out. Do you mind if I nerd out again?
Go for it.
Okay, I have the nerd permission.
Yes.
You heard it from here, guys. Okay, so this is really interesting because in a book that I read about high performance individuals, they talk about how the highest performing individuals have better mental representations of the subject that they're or the area that they're high performers in, and they used the test where they were trying to get people to memorize strings of digits, and they found that people who were really good at memorizing like a string of digits that they were given would chunk it. So they were making chunks instead of just going like, okay, here's a string of digits, remember every single digit. They would remember chunks of digits independently. Does that make sense? So they remember
So
like
they
strings
had
of
more understanding.
no, yeah. So instead of like in strings of 1, they would memorize in strings of 3. So I wonder if the good dancers memorize more because they understand it. So they like memorize chunks
Like
instead
a
of memorizing.
flow or
Yeah,
something,
instead of
yeah.
memorizing individual movements because they understand like all of the given movements that you could do from flowing from one position biomechanically. So it's easier because they are picking from like only a certain subset of potential movements. So then they can like learn it way faster. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Than people who are memorizing every step.
All I got from this is that I have an excuse now why I'm not a good dancer.
Well, they're all good dancers. It's just the best
그래서
that they.
내가 그래서 A야?
잘 추는.
아니 봐봐 춤 셋이
그냥 빨리 이해를 하는 거야 얘네들은.
아니 일단 춤을 추면은 일단 그 동작을 외워야 되거든.
That's really
저는
interesting,
애초에
man.
우리는 동작을 평생 이해를 못 하잖아요.
그렇지.
That's true.
일단 외우는 거지.
아 웃기네요. 네.
That is funny.
S였네.
나 S야?
내가 S라고?
N이네. 나 지금 계속 S 나 바뀌었나 봐.
I'm an S, you're N. That's the only letter we differ on.
이거는 이랬다 저랬다 해서
And it causes conflict. I'm just gonna put that there because Wesley gets
Not as
so
much anymore.
Not as much anymore because
Now that we understand
we
better,
can
yeah.
talk through it. But Wesley will give me this high level conspiracy theory. I'm like, I want to see the evidence. Show me the evidence.
갈릴 수가 있고
그쵸.
And I'm like, I looked it up. I don't remember.
F는 좀 확실하게 갈릴 수가 있어요.
아 그래.
네. T랑 F는 이제 T가 이성적인 사람,
이성적이고.
F가 좀 감성적인 사람.
This is my most
아마
extreme
여기서
variable,
제가 알기로도
actually.
This is the one I
T랑
don't
F가 제일
understand.
많이 갈리거든요. 자 다음 토크 주제 T와 F 들어가시죠.
I think
Oh, they're gonna do more episodes.
nice.
Well, I don't know when this will be posted then.
I think T just means that you're not in touch with your emotions because
I don't know. I don't. This one confuses me the
I'm not
most, and it's my most. I'm
empathetic.
very extreme T.
I don't think you're. I think it means we're not empathetic.
I don't know. I like to be. I cry a lot though.
That's true. We do cry. I don't know, guys. Explain the difference between T and F to us.
It's
'cause
so
we're
confusing.
confused.
This was so fun.
N 사실 요거는
I feel like we should. They are released part 2 the same day we filmed part 1. That's
이랬다
why.
저랬다
We're
해서
jumping right in.
T랑 F는 좀 확실하게
We
갈릴
stopped the first filming session, and I literally like pulled up the internet, and I went, "Oh shit!" So we're doing this later in the day.
아 그래.
네. T랑 F는 이제 T가 이성적인 사람,
이성적이고.
F가 좀
Yeah, explain
감성적인
this
사람.
one to me. What does it mean?
그래서 아마
Speak to me,
여기서
RM.
제가 알기로도 그 T랑 F가 제일 많이 갈리거든요. 자 다음 토크 주제 T와 F 들어가시죠.
Objective, logical, and analytical decision making. Decisions based on personal values and relations. That's. I have a lot of feeler friends who are still like make analytical decision making.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all.
I don't either.
They just seem like they know when they're pissing people off better than I.
That's all. That's the
what
only
it
difference.
seems
Like they
to
make
me.
very good decisions. They're very objective and logical. They just
They're
are-
not even like more people persons. They're just like more aware of other people's feelings.
They're yeah.
in
They
my
are more
understanding.
empathetic and more in tune with other people. So
If it-
I don't know if I agree with this definition.
It's also translated, which always is weird, right?
That's true.
친구 둘 중에 더 하나는 사람은 A, 나 고생한다고 음료 한 잔 더 시켜줬는데 가져오다가 바로 엎질러서 저네요. 요점 정리
This is
다 적시고
weird.
임윤지 씨.
헐리.
자 B, 내가 화장실 갔다 온 사이에 밤새서 정리한 요점 노트 바로
The one
세벼버린.
who spilled.
The one who spilled.
Yeah, why would
That's
I
a
give a
question.
shit? I don't care. Take my picture, bro. That
아니 나는 페어.
Definitely A.
약간 더
Really?
그러니까 이게 공부.
A would be so much worse.
약간 그런 거냐 이제
그치.
이런 거거든요.
저는
Jimin looks mad. We see Jimin.
Yeah.
He looks so pissed.
하나 둘 셋.
Hey, what?
What?
Really?
B는 저 괘씸해서라도 손절해야 돼.
자 지금
예,
올피
맞아.
나왔어요.
잠시만 입을 해보자.
Are they thinking that the person did it like
Sneakily?
deceiving you? Like
Oh.
he's not a good friend? Because my friends would all know that they're welcome to copy my notes and copy my answers.
Yeah.
You know?
If they,
So I
I
didn't-
guess if they took a picture and they didn't tell you and they were sneaky about it, weirdly, that would be odd. Maybe it's a different value system in Korea when it comes to notes, maybe because we all shared notes all the time in
Yeah,
school.
I wouldn't have been
I wouldn't
upset.
care.
They wouldn't have even had to tell me. Like I've been like, okay, cool. If I had found out.
Maybe like I guess I don't like the idea of someone touching my notebook when I'm not there and leafing through it though. That would annoy me because it's my stuff.
As long as they tell me, and they tell me the next day even, I don't care. I'd be pissed if you spilled your drink
Yeah.
all over my notes though.
그 입을 해. 네가 오답 노트를 안 쓸 텐데.
아 근데 사실 또 한번 생각해 보세요.
정리도.
내가 진짜 밤새서 다 했는데
Yeah.
거기다가 진짜 커피를 다 엎질러서
Yeah.
아무것도 안 보여. 처음부터 다시 해야 돼.
Yeah.
나는 이제
그것도 열받을 것 같긴 했거든요.
안 보이는 것까지.
화가 나긴 하네.
Yes.
그렇지.
아니 그러니까
근데
그렇지.
실수니까.
근데 이게 나
아니,
고생한다고 음료를 한 잔 더
아니 내가
시켜주는
진짜
데가
아니 내가 아니 이게 생각을 바꿔서 내가 진짜 그림 다 그려놓은 거에 음료 엎은 거잖아.
이 최고의
아니,
Yeah.
최고의 역작이야.
그렇지. 네가 음악 작업 다 해야 되는데
찍어가는 거.
Yeah, just finish your song or your art or whatever it is that's important to
But at the
you.
same time, I'm also like, I think it's supposed to be like they meant to do something nice for you and they messed up, or somebody was duplicitous in a way that didn't directly negatively impact you, obviously. Does that make sense? I don't know if it's the best example because in the first hand, like my notes are unusable, but they had good intentions. And on the second, on B, I don't feel.
I don't care if you have good intentions. I'm so mad at you. I'm a clumsy person. If I did that, I'd be pissed off at myself and I'd feel terrible. If I copied your notes, I wouldn't feel that bad.
뭐야? 괜찮은 것 같아. 생각해 보니까.
야 근데 네가 완전
If I lied
아니야,
about
봐봐,
it, then I
우리가
wouldn't.
지금 오답 노트로 들어가면 안 돼.
그치.
그러니까 우리가
야 이거를
작업하고 있던
이렇게 해봅시다.
하는
작업으로
프로젝트라고
A
합시다.
project,
작업 프로젝트.
anything
자,
you want.
1번은 자 내가 이거를 몰래 디벨롭을 해주고 싶었다.
Everybody there's like, I don't care about school.
Yeah.
그래서 형 몰래 컴퓨터를 켜서 이거를 기타를
날린 거야?
좀더 쳐다가
오.
세션이 그냥 통으로 날아갔어요.
그렇지 그렇지.
근데 어쨌든 의도는 좋았어요. 요거를 몰래 해서 홀랑 다른 놈한테
See,
Yeah,
that's better. That's
that's a
better.
good-
That's better.
they can relate to
RM just goes through and rewrites the whole test.
아니 그걸 아니 딱 듣고 이거 좋은데 이걸 그대로 낼 수는 없으니까
그러고서 나중에 살짝 교묘하게 바꿔가지고
그러니까 이거는 좋은 마음으로 한 거고
그러니까.
이거는
그러니까 저는
이거는-
의도가 있냐 없냐의 차이라니까.
그러니까.
아니 이거는
근데-
친구를 한 명 이거는 친구를 하나 잃었냐 아니면 요점 노트를 하나 잃었냐
아니,
이거야.
그게
Okay, I think I would actually be more angry about the first one, but I would still love them and be friends with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. The second one, someone sold my song behind my back. They're cut out. They're gone.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't. But I wouldn't be as mad. Does that make sense?
I'd be very upset and angry in the moment at my dear friend who had good intentions but was an idiot.
But who I love still,
Who I
and
love.
who will continue to be my friend, and I will love to have in my life. I will just change my password on my
Yeah,
computer
I think if
and
the other
not tell
person's
them.
being duplicitous, then yeah, why are they your friend?
찍어간 건데
난둘다 이럴 것
나한테
같은데.
피해가 없는 거면은
그래, 그냥
우리 너무
내버린 거야.
과몰입했어 지금 다.
아니지.
근데
이거
요점은
거의 뭐
아니
자 제가 말씀드렸죠 이거 치열할 거라고. 자
굉장히
다음으로
It's really
친구가
interesting.
시험을 망쳤다고 너무 속상해. 야 나 이번에 시험 망했어. 그때 당신이 할 말은?
오 축하. 어차피 일단 난 망했거든. 그렇지 나도 망했거든. 하나 둘 셋.
요즘 내 친구들하고 대화하는 거에 이
난 A.
Whoa, that's like half and half.
그러니까 이게 보시면 A는 봐봐 정서에 대한 대답이야. 나도 어려웠고 다들 뭔가 그랬다라는 거고 B는 뭔가 사실과 결과에 대해서 얘기를 하잖아요. 자 역시 A가 F네요.
나 T구나.
Ooh.
난 왜 F지?
너 완벽하게 T다야.
나 F인 줄 알았는데. 깬다니까.
자 친구가 와서 나한테 야, 너 지금 하는 일 네 적성에 별로 안 맞는 것 같아. 아, 차라리 그만두지.
근데 내 답변들이 다 너무 약간.
라고
I mean, this
했을
depends on how you feel about your job. I feel like that's the main issue there.
Yeah,
Right? If you are been complaining to your friend about your job constantly, that's completely
That's
fair.
completely fair. Be like, yo, you don't seem happy in the job. I think maybe you should quit. Or if they're like,
Wow, you suck.
yeah, you just are very good
관계가
at it.
부족하긴 해 지금.
Hey, I agree,
그렇죠, 사실.
Suga.
내가 얼마나 이 일을 사랑하고
Thank you,
좋아하는지에 대한 데이터가 없는 상태.
근데 이제 형은 그런 게 먼저 나온 거죠, 그러면. 그러니까 내가 직관적으로 들었을 때 내가 뭐라고 대답할 것 같은지가 제일 이건 핵심이야.
나는 어느 부분에서 안 맞는데
니가 잘해, 니가.
오늘 제일 흥분하신 거.
아니, 니가 잘해.
아니
니가
사실
잘하세요.
사실 저런 질문들은 더 이상 나랑 친구를 하지 않겠다라는 질문들이잖아.
아니,
Mind your own business. I'll think about it. I'll figure it out. It's better than yours, B.
Why, how, which part?
part?
JK's asking like 3 questions at once.
I don't understand the question.
He's like, you're starting to give me like, what's happening here, man?
아니 근데 저
I
질문
mean, I feel like Jungkook is the type of person to be completely happy, but someone says something like that, and then it would send him on a spiral of just like, what are you talking about? And
I
then
thought I was happy.
yeah, what are you saying?
우리 만약에 연습생 때 했다 치면 더 답변이 확실하게 나올 것 같아.
아, 연습생 때.
아 연습생 때랑 또 얘기가
연습생
다르지.
때라고 생각하고 우리가 이렇게 잘 안 될 수도 있었어.
지금
어.
불확실해. 난 답변 똑같은 것 같아. 나 아까
I think I'd be more angry.
I feel you're working your ass off, and
Yeah.
so I was like, hey, I think you
And
need
there's
to do.
uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I was BTS, you'd
Like
be
nobody's gonna say that to
You're
him.
like,
yeah.
dude, what are you talking
But
about?
back when you're training
Yeah.
and you don't have that success yet, and then someone's like, "Hey, I really think you should change your job," and it's something you're passionate and you love,
that'd be way mean.
I'd be like, "Screw you."
I'd be like, I think you should change the direction you're facing, because I'll punch you right in your mouth.
Woo!
나좀 바뀌었어. 우리 연습생 때는 너무 불확실했기 때문에.
아, 그래? 나 뭐 할까 나왔고요.
They're gonna say much. Why didn't I missed it? What is
Jin's just said, oh, really? What should I do?
그 힘듦 때문에 나랑 안 맞다라는 생각을 너무 많이 했어.
연습생 때는 직업이 아니고 충분히 저렇게
So
생각할 수
funny.
있을 것 같아.
특수한 직업이라 그럴 수 있어.
아 그래 오키 뭐야?
아, 뭐 그랬을 것 같아. 그러나 속으로는 어쩌라고 그렇게 했을 것 같아.
일단은 할 것 같아요. 저는 현재와 과거를
알아서 할게.
JK
일단
shadowboxing.
할게.
They're also nice. I'll figure it out. I'll see it through.
좋아요.
Jungkook did change.
고민해볼게. 유유.
포기는 안 한다.
형 고민 안 하실 거잖아요.
말만 하는 거죠.
They're way too nice.
뭐얘 이상 말은 해야 되니까 답변을 줘야 되니까.
But J-Hope's also like, yeah, I'll just say something nice to get out of the conversation. Then
Yeah.
just do what I was going to do anyways. That's how I am now.
I'll think about it. I'll figure it out. It's
자,
Jungkook.
보통
Why?
사람들이 내가
How?
그랬어요.
What
친구가
part?
전화 와서 제일 첫 마디로 야, 보험은 들었어? 아, 이게 중요한 게 제일 첫 마디로 전화를 딱 해서 받았어. 여보세요?
Yeah, I mean, you
Oh,
should
I'd be
definitely
so
ask,
upset.
"Are you all right?" That is your number one question.
If they ask me if I have insurance?
Yeah.
No, I don't care if they're all right.
No. You got in a car accident. Your friend calls you up and they say, and the first thing they say is, "You say I got in an accident," and I say, "Well, do you have insurance?"
Oh.
No, the question is, "Are you all right?" That's what you
했는데,
should say.
야, 보험은 들었냐? 라고 하면
No, you're saying, you're answering the phone, hello, and they're saying, do you have insurance?
I think no.
하나, 둘, 셋.
그냥 별 생각이 없어.
You're saying you would be upset about it?
자,
What are you
이거는
saying?
다 이거 보니까 다 삔 거
I'm
같은데.
confused.
실제로 나는 친구한테 저렇게 이야기를 한 적이 있어.
제 티 아니야?
나도 한 적 있어.
왜냐면 나는
중요하거든. 괜찮냐고 먼저 해줘야지.
There, see, Jungkook agrees with me.
보험 들었냐 이게 바로. 야 괜찮냐 이거랑.
나 A, 나 A.
Yeah,
서운해?
I see. That's what I said. I think you misunderstood the question.
I maybe misunderstood question.
I think Jungkook and I are on the same page. You're supposed to ask, "Are you all right?"
맞아. 야 보험은 이러면
나 안 소원했어.
보험이 중요하지.
Suga.
그건 내가 알아서 하니까. 야, 괜찮냐가
야,
시각적으로
어쨌다.
도의적으로 괜찮냐는 아무런 도움이 안 돼요.
이게 정말로 이게 위로의 방식이 다른 저는 방식이 다른
Jin's like, that's not practical. Do you have insurance? Is it helpful?
거지 알아서 이제는 안 서운해요. 자, 친구
If your mom called you up and said, "I got in an accident," is the first thing you would say, "Do you have insurance?"
No, but flip the situations and she would totally say that to me the first thing.
It's
For
true.
sure. She's like, Wesley, if you were not okay, you wouldn't be calling me. So I'm going to ask the practical question.
와도 좀
That's
맛이
fair.
없다. 그렇지만 친구가 나에게 해줬으면 하는 반응은 A. 날 위해서 이걸 만들었다고? 대박, 진짜 너무 고마워, 진짜 너무 감동이다. B. 처음 맛에 대한 솔직한 평가를 한 다음
A.
짜다. 그래, 고마워. 하나, 둘, 셋. 난 일단 그래도
A
A다.
for sure.
상처받잖아.
Yeah.
솔직히 너 근데 요리는 에바다.
Yeah,
이렇게
A.
생각해.
나는
남한테는 안
A면은
그러겠지만
오히려
나한테는
불편한
뭐
게
상관없어.
내가 먹었는데 맛없는 거를 아는데도
계속
그렇게
먹고 있으면
계속
더
먹고
불편해.
있으면 더 불편하기 때문에
가식적이다.
근데 뒤에 고마움을 표현하니까 B가 훨씬 낫지. 고마움을 표현을 하잖아 마지막에.
아니, 근데
I think if they
Whoa,
if
did
they
you see him
switched
all pick B?
if they switched the order and they said thank you, then they gave me the constructive criticism, I would choose that one.
Yeah.
But the constructive criticism first hurts me.
일단 맛부터 얘기하는
Thanks
거지.
so much. And they're a little salty.
아니
Yeah, that's fine.
아니 맛 평가를 해줘야 내가 발전이 있지
그래도 고맙다고
앞으로.
해주면
근데 처음 맛
발전이 있지 맛 평가를 해줘야
난
더
발전.
맛있게 더 재밌게.
근데 저렇게 맛 평가하고 고마움을 표현하면은 맛 평가할 때 안 좋은 평가부터 먼저 하면은
그렇지, 나도 그래.
난 저 사람이랑 친구. 아니 너무 속상하잖아.
That
That's
is, it is
upsetting.
upsetting.
만약에
That's just a
너가
rude
만약에-
friend.
Yeah, just be nice first, then constructive criticism.
That's people's
Like,
skills.
wow, you made this. Thank you so much for taking the time to make this. That was really sweet of you. It makes me feel so warm inside and valued. Just so you know, it's terrible, and you should never cook anything again. So for the love of God, stay out of the kitchen.
나라면 이렇게 할까? 만약 너가 만들어 맛이 없어. 이거 뭐지? 이렇게 먹을 것 같은데. 이거 뭐지? 이거 뭐지?
나는 여기에 솔직한 평가를 하는
They are honest when they cook for each other.
That's true.
On the other shows.
그게 솔직한 평가를 한 거지.
난 선평가 무조건 할 것 같은데.
그래, 평가부터 해야지.
아, 근데 이건 솔직히.
아 이거 좀만 더 간 찼으면 맛있겠다. 그렇지 그렇지. 그래 중요하지.
맨날 저래.
얘 맨날 저래.
이거
내가 막으면
야그 미원 넣을까?
자, 친구가 요즘 나한테 뭔가 화난 것처럼
Oh
보인다.
yeah, you guys just sprinkle. Don't some cultures just sprinkle. What is it, MSG on
Do
their
they?
food? Like it's salt. They just put MSG in it.
Really?
And meantime, while in America, everyone's like, never eat MSG. It's terrible for you. It wears out your neurotransmitters. And like we purposely avoid don't eat anything with MSG.
Really?
You know this.
I don't know.
And natural flavors oftentimes is a pseudonym for MSG. You've never heard this? I knew that Chinese cultures did that, where they sprinkle it on.
Like salt?
Yeah, like MSG. Really? You never knew this? Okay, fine. we're
나는
moving on.
친구한테
I didn't know
어떻게
that.
할까? 에이,
It's cool. I don't know. It's a cool fact.
It's unhealthy for you. Don't do that.
It's bad for you?
Yes.
Really?
According to
Like sugar?
all health
Like
people,
sugar or what?
it's if you use it, it makes food taste better because it tricks your mind into thinking it tastes better than it actually does. But then if you eat too much of it, it can wear out your neurotransmitters.
Like sugar? Or
The
drugs?
sugar wear out
like
your,
drugs?
like drugs. It's
Like
a drug.
Don't do drugs.
Or MSG.
It's like black tar heroin and MSG. The same. Stephanie wants you to identify the difference in these two pictures. They're the same picture.
B들이든 한 달이든 내
Organize
생각을
my thoughts,
충분히
whether it takes a
정리한다.
week
제가
or a
왜
month.
화났지? 그 다음에 연락을 한다. B, 뭐가 문제인지 왜 화가 나는지 바로
You would
야,
be B.
너 나한테 기분 나쁘게 얘기하라고 바로 전화부터
I'd be A, you'd
난
be B.
바뀌었어.
You would be A, I would be
시간의
B.
미덕이라는 걸 알게 된 이유.
저도 A인 것 같아요.
나도 A.
나도 A.
이건
그럴 만한 이유가 있겠지.
Ba 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 ba.
Fucking Jimmy.
Look at that.
저도 A인 것 같아요.
Oh,
나도
just
A.
say baba.
나도 A.
Ba ba ba.
그럴 만한 이유가 있겠지.
왜냐면 제가 B로 했다가 관계가 틀어진 적이 너무 많아.
맞아.
성격인 것 같아 이거는.
그치.
나는 좀 이런 시간이 너무
Me
힘들어.
too.
참는 거지.
You just
내가
gotta
맞춰야
ask.
되면
Get it over
저도
with.
기회야. 누군가 저한테 이제 막 삐진 것 같고 이러면은 왜? 뭐가 문제인데? 얘기해봐.
Exactly.
나는
바로 이렇게 들어가.
나는 이제 B로 인해서
Think about it. Okay, you sit on it for a month, but are you happy for that month?
Oh no, see, the biggest thing for me
You're miserable.
is I have such low emotional intelligence that I usually haven't noticed someone's mad at me. That's you.
So if you did figure out someone was mad at you,
That would make me happy because that means I'm being empathetic and I've grown as a person, which is a good thing. Actually, if I actually know somebody's mad at me, I avoid them.
안 되니까.
Because I don't try to make people mad at me.
oh my goodness.
Who do I make mad at me? I don't feel like I made anybody
한
mad.
달까지
No, that's
이틀까지
true.
아니더라도
나도.
잠깐의 한 3-4시간의 텀은 있어야지.
아니 물어보는
사람과
거를
대화가 된다고 생각해.
물어보는 거를 조심스럽게 물어보면
Yeah, just be
Yeah, that's
careful.
fair. That's
원래
fair.
B였는데 근데 그 사람이 나한테 왜 화가 나는지 자기도 모르는
That's
거니까.
true.
근데 이제 시간이 지나면
맞아.
자기도 이제 사과하는 경우도 있고
맞아.
내가 사실은 그때 야 그래서 그랬는데 나도 좀 미안해 내가 너한테 그렇게 해서
That's a good argument, but the people in my life don't do that.
Oh, you mean me? Yeah,
So you have to ask and be like, So, did I do something to upset you? Why aren't you happy? What's going on?
Oh.
Let's talk about it.
Well, you're just talking about me, right?
Other people too.
Not me?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And if the person comes to me first, they might say, "Hey, I have this problem with you," and I'd rather actively ask if they have a
Oh,
problem.
yeah, because
with
that's
me.
way more aggressive. If they're like, hey, yo, I got a problem with you. I
Right?
don't know. When it's me and you, I don't really know that I'm angry or why.
Until I ask you.
Because I don't understand
I'll
emotions.
say, "What's wrong? I feel like something's wrong,"
and I
then
have
you'll
to
be
think
like,
through my
you'll be
emotions.
like, "There is something wrong. I have to think about it." But if I don't, he'll just be grumpy for a week.
Because I don't know I'm upset.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's good to ask.
Good to
적으로
ask.
얘기를 하게 되고
그러니까 나도 내가
A로
감정적으로
가면은 어느 정도 생각의 정리를 하고 이성적으로 얘기를 할 수 있어요.
제이홉 씨는 왜 A신가요?
저요? 당연히 일단 정리를 하고
당연히 B 아니에요.
상대에게도 시간을 주는 거죠. 어떻게 보면.
They asked, why did he choose that? Look how many hearts there are on his board. It's because he's a lovely person who doesn't seek conflict.
화가
Right?
났잖아. 화가 난 상태에서는 이미 이성을 잃었다고.
그렇지.
그 상태에서는 어떠한 대화가 되지 않는다고요.
맞아요.
그거는
That's a good point, too.
Well, yeah, but you get take like 10 minutes.
맞는 거.
You don't need a week.
만들어줄 것 같아요.
I like
근데
JK's answer
이게
best.
유형이 되게 다른 거예요. 아 이게 1번이 F구나. 너 B였냐? 그리고 저랑 정국이랑 진짜 달라요. 다 달라요. 저랑 정국이랑. 여기서.
나 어느 정도 나는 유하게 왔다 갔다 하는 사람이라는 걸 알아 나는. 나는 그렇게 됐어. 나
너무 왔다 갔다 한다.
나도 왔다
바로
갔다
물어봐야 돼 무조건.
This is fun.
다음
Still the fake potions?
가자.
You see JK flapping?
자, P랑 J는 뭐냐면요.
Ooh, P and J?
이제 즉흥적으로 뭔가 하는 사람, 계획을 별로 싫어하는 사람.
I'm so
And almost
curious
all
how
of
they're
them are
going to
P.
answer. Yeah, they're almost all P's.
I'm curious.
With the
This will be
exception of,
interesting.
they're all P's except J-Hope, right?
체계적이고 되게 계획적이고 어떤 뭔가 시스템을 좋아하는 사람.
Wesley is an extreme J. I'm in the
질문
middle.
들어갑니다. 방 청소는 A. 난 주기적으로 해야 된다. B. 내가 원할 때만 치워도 된다. 자,
Whenever I
하나,
feel like
둘,
it.
셋.
What was the other one? Regularly?
I clean it regularly, but like once a week.
내가
But
원할 때가
regularly.
주기적일 수도 있는 거잖아요.
I plan to clean it once a week.
I clean it whenever I feel like it. Right?
And together we end up cleaning it pretty often, right?
원할 수도 있는 거잖아요. 그러니까 근데 이건 내 마음가짐인 거잖아.
윤기야, 넌 너무 철학적이야.
저 사람은 자꾸 과 문제를 그냥 MBTI라고 그냥 분수 하나를
윤기야.
골라
He
제발.
said keep it simple.
골라라고 그냥 제발
저
부탁이니까.
단순히 이 두 개 중 하나를 선택하란 말이야.
골라라고요 그냥.
나 J인데?
그냥 너는 그냥 이거에 있어서는 그냥 주기적인 사람인 거야 그냥.
저는
아니 근데 나는 약간
청소에
무조건
있어서
B인데 안 치워서 A로 해야 돼요.
이거는
So you work around your disposition? That's interesting.
나도 이런 청소면
이거는 좀
J인 것 같아.
집이 쉽게 더러워지는 사람도 따져야 되는 그런 문제. 친구들이랑 여행을 가기로 했다. 여기서 제일 많이 갈려요. A. 비행기랑 숙소 예약 준비 끝. B. 첫째 날은 이거 하고 둘째 날은 그거 하고 셋째 날은 저거 하자. 어떤? 근데 이거는 저는 사실은 P인데 J로 바뀐 케이스. 나는 A로 했다가 너무 많이 싸우고
I don't understand the question. A is
I think A is just more you planned it out, and B is like you just kind of go and do whatever, right?
I interpreted
Oh
it.
no! It's saying A is you
like,
just bought flights.
I got my flight.
Yeah, B is like here's our itinerary,
A.
right?
Yeah.
Itineraries?
Yeah. No, I'm A. I got the tickets. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get there, but I'm
Oh,
going.
that's true. We've actually had some bad trips because
I don't
we
plan them
both
out.
tend to be that way.
Yes.
Not just you. It's
Yeah.
not on you.
Yeah,
Neither
yeah.
of us planned it out. I'm just saying, like, you don't.
We
Don't blame
should
yourself.
be
We should
more.
have. Your
like
mom
this.
planned stuff out. So when we were like, what's the thing that makes all of our good trips good? And it's when
my
your
mom.
mom went with us
Because
because she
she's like,
planned
day one, we're
activities.
doing this. Day two, we're
And she
doing
picks the
this.
best activities.
근데 이거는 저는
see
사실은
what they do.
P인데 J로 바뀐 케이스. 나는 A로 했다가 너무 많이 싸우고 너무 많이 사고가 나서 B로 그나마 해놔야 이제 그나마 사고가
Yeah.
좀 덜 난다는
We
거예요.
have to be
Yeah.
like B, but my inclination is A.
B로 제가 해놓고 제가 귀찮아요. 막상했는데
That's funny.
원래 여행은 귀찮은 거야. 다 해놓고 계획까지 다 해놨는데 막상 귀찮은 거야 싸움이야.
That's how I feel.
I feel the opposite. I never have plans, and then I'm bored. I'm like, I gotta do something.
Oh, I get so tired though when we if we're in a situation with over planning, I get exhausted.
I don't.
나는 약간 진짜 그 A인 게
너 그냥 오늘
Okay,
보안
let's see.
바로 보안 가?
Oh,
나도 진짜
the airport after work today? You're giving me a panic attack.
이거지.
Jungkook would go?
방탄소년단 멤버들끼리 여행을 가기로 했다. 이 중 맡고 싶은 역할은 중복 가능. 1번 계획, 2번
Ooh.
총무,
Planning,
3번
treasure,
맛집, 4번
eateries,
오락,
entertainment.
5번 그냥 무인승차.
Planning. I don't trust my friends to pick the place we're staying. They pick really bad Airbnbs
Oh, that's true.
consistently.
And assuming Stephanie's the one planning, I'll take the free ride. If it's not Steffi, I'll have to plan it because our friends pick really bad Airbnbs that have sewage leaks or are in just really unsafe areas.
But yeah, in downtown, bad areas like drug deals going on, or one
And
time
unnecessarily for no reason.
We were
They were the same price, and they somehow picked the one that was in an unsafe area when the other one wasn't.
Or one time we were going to France, I get a text from my friends, and we hadn't left yet. They were getting there early. They're like, yeah, we don't have a place to
Our
stay.
Airbnb was double booked. We don't have anywhere to
We don't have
stay.
anywhere to stay. We'll give you an update. We didn't get an update until we arrived in France. And then a text finally came through saying, hey, meet us here.
They weren't there when we
They
got
weren't even there. Like, that's our friends. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Don't-
I only get free ride because Stephanie is really good at doing this stuff.
Don't trust other people to pick your Airbnb is the moral of that story.
Unless they're good at it. If they haven't established.
당연히 5번 아니야?
승차.
난 진짜 5번인데 나도.
당연히 5번 아니야 이거?
Free
사실
ride.
5번 같은 케이스는 괜찮은 게 5번이라고 해놓고 막상 가서 토를 다뤄. 아니
Oh,
그냥
Jacob
가서
would.
그냥 하면 되는데 갑자기 가서 난 니네가 다 맡길게 이러고 가서 야 근데 여기 좀 더럽다.
Yes.
That's fair.
나 이거 같아.
That's what we say. We always say that. We say if you didn't put your balls on the table and make the plans, you can't complain.
Yeah, so
And we also said you can't complain about the plans unless you have a suggestion.
I just said we didn't complain. We went with it and said from now on we're doing the planning.
It was a really, actually, like, that was a really fun experience. In retrospect, it was so stressful, though.
왜 내 욕하냐 갑자기?
자 저는 3번입니다.
난 2번, 3번 둘 다 할 것 같아. 왜냐면 돈이랑 연관돼 있기 때문에.
5번.
I don't want to do the money.
나도
That's
2번도 할 것
stressful.
같아.
근데
I don't wanna find the
항상
restaurants either. That's also
재밌는 거
stressful.
내가 다 그거 링크 다 보냈는데.
나 저런 거 진짜 모르는. 난 진짜 못해. 난 사람이
난
필요해.
저런 건 너무 귀찮고.
난 다 좋아.
나 데리고 가줄 사람이 필요해.
자 핸드폰 액정이 금이 같다. 터치가 안 되는 건 아님. 근데 보기 거슬리네. 어떻게 할까?
Keep it.
시간 내서 바로 수리. B 당장 터치가 안
핸드폰-
되는
야, 야,
거 아닌데
B.
나중에 고치자.
B.
B.
아 근데 이건 너무
Hey!
에이,
Just
너무
straight
아니냐?
up.
그래? 어.
미관상 안 좋잖아 보기가.
기능만 되면 돼. 기능만.
자
I've kept a
여기서
broken phone for years. There are literally pieces falling out of it, and Wes is like, "Why do you still have that?" And I'm like, "It works."
What's funny though is like I did the same thing 1 year or 2 years before you did, where my phone had just like I had spider web cracks all up.
You
the
were
side
yelling
and
at me.
stuff.
You're like, "You gotta replace it. You gotta replace it."
Yours was bad,
People
though.
at work would like be like, "What's wrong
Yours
with your
was
phone?"
bad. It was she had the screen actually like falling out. That was the difference. Mine was broken, but the screen was all there. Yours was broken, and it was like pieces were falling out, and you would cut your fingers.
I don't
Sometimes.
want to waste money.
You would cut your fingers sometimes.
미관상 너무 안 좋아.
나한테 피해만 안 오면 돼.
아, 그래?
Exactly.
수리를 맡기거나 바꿀 때는 그게
기능이 안 됐어.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Well, yours was cutting you.
오랜만에 쉬는 날이 생겨서 밖을 나가고자 함. 내가 할 행동은 A. 언제 어디로 무엇을 타고 왜 가는지 생각하고 외출. 무작정 나가는 거 싫다. B. 어디로 갈지 정하지 않았지만 일단 준비를 하고 나감. 발이 이끄는 그대로. 하면
이거-
낭만파네. B는.
A.
I used to be more like B, but with a baby and a wifey now, I can't do that.
And if you do B, nothing ends up happening.
No,
a lot
I
of
used
the time.
that's not true because what I used to do is I would just like either go on a bike, get in the car, or go on a skateboard or go on a walk, and I would go to a neighborhood and I would just explore and I would like walk,
But
pop into this coffee
If
shop
we
or this
don't
restaurant
plan something
because
now,
there's two of us
we don't leave the house.
and a baby.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. I used to be B, but now with a wife and a
Gotta
baby,
be A.
I'm gotta be A.
나는 저거 계획을 짜다가 귀찮아서 안 나가는데.
Exactly. You just end up staying home if you don't
나는지
plan.
물어보고 나서.
That's what he said. He starts making plans and then he
쉬는
feels
날엔
too
나가는
lazy.
사람 나밖에 없는데.
예를 들어서
귀찮아서 안 나가는데.
확실한 목적지가 있으면 괜찮아요.
아니 그러니까 이게 그냥
진짜 어디에
시뮬레이션을
가장
해서
괜찮은데
간만에 나갈 날이 생겼어.
자 하나 둘 셋.
What they say.
무조건
어디 갈지 정도는 정해야지.
Oh, everybody
이게
except
여행은
B.
아니기 때문에 나는 A.
자 여기서 다 A고 한 명 B 나왔습니다. 바로 낭만파.
V, I can see V being like, I'm gonna go where the wind blows, where it takes me. That would make a lot of sense.
It's
to me.
really fun to just
He's-
wander.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm sure
fun.
it is.
I love it. I would just like go to a park and explore. I miss
And then you
doing
get
that.
hungry. I'd rather know where I'm
No,
going
you just
and
go
what.
find food. I like B. B's fun. Me and V, let's go wander, V. We'll find somewhere.
You wouldn't even turn on the GPS?
내비도 안 켜요. 그냥 내비 안 켜.
Okay, never mind, V. I can't wander that well.
그냥 보자.
극피네.
It really is.
저는 절대로 저는 극한의 효율을 짜고 나가야 돼요.
나도 그건 안 돼.
The most efficient
이렇게
route?
나가기까지 굉장히 오랜 노력이 걸려요.
난 장소만 정해놔. 딱.
Yes.
나도 장소는 정할 것 같아.
거기가 닫혀 있는지 열려 있는지는 중요하지 않고.
Oh, I'll look up to see if it's open.
그러면 이제 차 타가지고 다시 이제 폰 봐.
어릴 적 나의 방학 계획표는 A. 나의 방학 계획을 우선순위로 나열한 후 시간 배분 계획에 근거한 표를 그린다. 잠자기, 밥 먹기, 놀기 위주로 칸을 나누고 주변을 화려하게 꾸민다.
하나, 둘,
Brave of you to assume I planned my vacations when I was in
Yeah,
school.
I didn't even think about it.
I don't even know how to answer because
와 이건
my parents planned summer camps for me.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, I just read books from the library and ran
nothing.
around playing sports. That was it. I wasted so much time on summer break.
Yeah, there was no routine.
아니 그 예를 들면 봐봐 지금 이런 거야 예를 들면 자 우리가 방학이 아니야 우리가 지금 장기 휴가를 받았어 한 달 반짜리를 자 그러면 이제 우리가 이제 고민을 해야 되는 건 거지 어떻게 할 것인가 나는 일단 막 디테일하게 나 이때 막 영어 레슨도 받을 거고 다 해놔 그리고 안 해 난 절대 안 해.
근데 나도 은근 그게 있더라고. 나는 캘린더에 내가 언제 약속을 잡거나 뭘 하잖아요. 다 적어놔.
나도 다 적어놔.
근데 요즘 나 적어 놓으려 그래.
그럼 나도 제일.
아니 나 항상 그래.
나 제일로 바뀌었구나.
아, 내가
근데 막
완전-
시간 막 이런 거 말고 그냥 오늘 뭐 레슨
이런 거
너 원래 제일.
근데 내가 그렇게 안 했다가 나도 이제 그거 필요성을 느껴.
그게 그렇게 안 하면
나도
사고 나지.
해놔.
그러니까 오늘 약속이 뭔지가 기억이 안
그렇게 안 하면
나니까
사고 나.
못 가고 막.
Same.
그런 게
Do
많아.
people just tell them where to go? I'm really curious.
Oh, like what? I'd be so curious if they've ever done a day in the life type of thing. That
Yeah.
would be really interesting.
I'd
'cause
be really interested.
That's something I've wondered too. Do they sort of, because a lot of really famous and successful people have a weirdly little amount of control over their daily schedules.
Yeah.
Because they outsource it, so they'll have an assistant, and they'll just wake up, and their assistant will be like, "Okay, you have this meeting. Okay, you have that meeting. Then we've got this
I
class."
wonder
and
if
we
they
have
have that.
And they like have a meeting with their assistant every few weeks to tell them what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then the assistant like plans it for them, right? That-
That sounds exhausting.
그걸 항상 당일날
you have to trust them.
형은 약속을 그리고 집에서 잡는 거 아니에요? 메이플이나 이런 걸로.
당일날
메이플 스토리?
당일날 카톡을 하거나 그렇지
What's that?
나도 뭐
a
쉬는
game.
날을 누가 알려달라 하지 않는 이상은 거의 다 번개로 잡긴 한다
나도 무조건 번개로만 만나서.
근데 이제 타면 몇 시에 뭘 할지는 딱 정해놔야지
이런 거 같아.
번개지
다음
What's shaking?
He changed it to
Booty?
ESTJ. Did you see that? Jimin and I are the same.
오랜만에 연락한 친구와 한 달 뒤에 약속을 잡기로 했다. 이때 내가 선호하는 약속 스타일은 한 달 뒤에요. 한 달 뒤에 이제 대충 만날 건데 어떻게 하시는 게
난둘 다 해 둘 다 해 근데 둘 다 해 내가
That's hard.
되게 이 사람이랑은 꼭 같이 뭐 밥을 먹고 싶다
그럼
그런 B인데
맞아.
근데 전제가 오랜만에 연락한 친구잖아 그럼 A인 나는
그럼 A지.
오랜만에
오랜만이면.
연락한 친구.
저는 약속 같은 거는 좀 중요해요. 날짜를 딱딱딱 정해놔야 돼.
그치
근데
그게
내가
마음이 편해서.
근데 이건
If I don't set an exact date, I'm.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm blowing you off. Like if I don't, for reals.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if I don't set an exact date, it's not gonna happen, and I know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so it's like being polite because I do want to see him again, but not enough to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
Unless they step up and make it happen.
Exactly.
Then it'll happen. If they come back and tell me a date, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's my version of being like, I would like to do this, but not enough to put the mental energy towards planning
Yes.
it.
친한 친구만 B로 하는 게 맞죠.
난 친한 친구면은 A가
나
나.
이 섞이는 거 싫어해가지고.
왜냐면은 친한 친구가 A를 더 잘 이해해줘.
그치 맞아.
뭐 어쨌든 이건 문제가 좀
오랜만에
지나갈
연락한
때가 있는 것
친구면 다음 달 10일에 해놨다가 9일쯤에 야 내일 갑자기 뭐 녹음 생겼다 못 볼 것 같다 이렇게 되지 않나?
I'd be so sad.
Ah.
야
I'd be so sad.
재밌네.
자, 굉장히 역시
Oh, it's over?
That's it?
근데
근데
사실은
우리도 진짜 과몰입하면서
These were good questions.
They were.
이 사회생활을 하면서 점점 바뀌고
바뀌지,
이걸로 절대 둘로 나뉠 수가 없어요. 뭐 바뀐 분들 있을 거예요. 지금 계속 바뀌고.
저는 저 바뀌었어요
이런 분들.
계속 바뀌네요 저도
제가 얼마 전에 한 2달 전에 한번 해봤어요. 그때 ESTJ가
Oh,
나오고
did they really?
Hey!
Nice.
Hey!
좀 바뀐 것 같아. 그리고 오늘 해보니까 P가 아니고 J가 맞는 것 같아요.
근데 저도 이렇게 살고 있긴 한데 그 만약에
뭐였어요?
INTP요.
Gentifi.
TP긴 한데 제가 이 연예계에서
Wait, so he went missing during COVID? Like TP?
Oh man.
Toilet paper?
Stop that. No, no. I feel like you know who you probably have it in common? Their CEO. You guys probably have the same personality type. ENTJ. Look
Yeah,
it up.
no
It's
way.
like
He's like-
commander or something. No,
He's
no, no.
Good
But
at managing people and stuff. I'm not.
ENTJ is like
Executive.
Executive.
Is what it's called, but I'm,
살고 있지 않았으면
I don't know how it gets
이렇게
that
안 살았을
reputation.
것 같아요.
I'm not good at that
직업이
kind of stuff.
나 MBTI에 영향을 많이 줬다.
그치,
사실
그치.
그건 맞지.
이 상황에 맞춰서 이게 좀 변한 것 같아. 옛날엔 이렇게 안 살았거든.
맞아 맞아.
저는 뭐 처음에
FJ 아니었냐? 너?
ESFJ였다가 최근에 또 ISFJ였다가 오늘
I think he's an ESFJ.
INFJ가 나오네요.
너는 J만 안 바뀌네.
제이들의 희망이라서 제이홉이야?
그러네.
변치 않네요, 네, 제이는.
재밌었습니다. 마지막으로 이제 제이홉 씨부터 마지막 간략하게 소감 얘기해 주시고 끝.
Jin as an ENTJ feels right to me for some reason.
Okay, I'm gonna say what I think each of them are. I think that
Sorry, Jin as ENTP feels right to me.
Jin is ENTP.
That feels right
Yes,
to me.
it does.
That feels right to me.
ENTP for Jin. I think J-Hope is an ESFJ.
That's what I would think too.
That's what vibes I'm getting from him. I think Jungkook is an ISTJ.
You think so?
No, or
I think
ISTP.
Yeah.
ISTP. I think Suga is,
I think ISTP is very right for Suga.
yeah, maybe ISTJ slightly though.
Yeah, that's what
A little ISTJ borderline.
INTJ or ISTJ or INTJ is what I would have guessed for Suga before the video.
I do think Jimin is correct at ESTJ. That feels right to me.
That feels right to me too.
V, I do think INFP feels right. And RM, I
RM's
would
the
say
trickiest. I thought he would have been a T and a J.
ENTJ.
But everything in his answers, though, he did show
Yeah.
a preference for, like, when you actually hear his answers to questions,
Yeah.
he's like, no, this is what I do. I like to go out. I like to go around.
Yeah.
I like to be spontaneous, which really surprised me. I thought he would have been an I, actually. Possibly.
Really?
I thought
he was definitely
I thought
extrovert.
RM might have been an I.
No, he likes being around people. I would have thought
I'm not
RM was
surprised.
ENTJ.
I'm actually not surprised he's an F because I feel like he does a really good job.
Maybe ENFJ.
I think that's what I would maybe guess because I feel like he does a really good job with the group dynamic and managing that.
Yeah,
And I feel like you have
that
to be
requires
really, really
empathy.
in touch with other people's emotional states in order to do that effectively.
I would have
So,
thought RM was an ENFJ.
that's probably the guess I would have walked to, or INFJ. for
Not
me.
that our opinions matter whatsoever.
It's just fun to shoot it at the try.
네, 뭐 사실 이거 재미로 하는 것 같고요. 저는 사실
It
어려움도
is.
느꼈지만
But it also can really help.
저한테는 약간 좀 집중력이 떨어지게 만들어요. 네, 저는 약간 잘 안 믿어요.
그러니까.
네, 매 계속 바뀌고 막 이러니까. 네. 그런데 뭐 사실
They also, I think, have unusually volatile lives, so I wonder if that
Yeah.
because like compared to us who have much more regular
Static
stimulus,
lives,
I
yeah.
feel like if my life differed as often as theirs differs, I would probably get different personality types more because
Yeah.
they're just getting so many different stimuluses thrown at them, you know?
Yeah, and I do want to say one more thing. I think that it is very helpful once you do notate a difference between you and one other individual. And then you can say, this is where we conflict. Like growing up, my dad was an extreme J and I was more borderline. And I'd be like, Dad, I want to go to the mall today. And be like, you didn't let me know a week in advance. And I'm like, but I didn't know I wanted to go to the mall until today, right?
Understanding that there's differences between you and other people and how you process the world helps you to be able to preemptively navigate and
Yeah.
get around those differences before they arise to avoid conflict and
Yeah.
become better at coexisting and working on things together.
So now it's like my dad understands I'm not just a crazy person. I just operate differently than him. And he'll be like, okay, well, maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. Or he'll say, you know what? I understand that this just came up. I will make an effort because I love you.
Well, thankfully, we're adults with a kid, so you don't have to ask your dad to go to the mall.
Yes,
anymore,
but
which is a plus.
this was a big deal to me growing up. In case you can't tell.
또 멤버들 성향도 한 번 더 알아가는 것 같고 오랜만에 재밌었습니다.
그냥 저 같은 경우는 저도 MBTI를 별로 잘 안 믿는데 저는 사주를 잘 믿어요.
올해 운세가 어떻대요?
제가 불이 없어서 좀 빨간 옷을 좀 많이 입어야 된대요.
형이 많아요? 잘 맞겠다.
불이 없어요.
아 그래서 오늘 빨간 의자 앉았구나.
저 물 많고.
I don't know what that is. That
I don't
sounds
know either. Wes is going to be
fascinating.
looking it up.
그래서 여튼
사주?
MBTI보다는 그냥 멤버들이랑 이렇게 즐겁고 떠노는데 떠들어도
Yeah.
되는데 저는
Yeah. And that's the
저도 뭐
joy, right?
MBTI에 크게 의미 부여를 하지 않고요. 그냥 뭐 사람은 다 각자의
That's
성격.
exactly what an ENTP would say.
It is what an ENTP would say.
Actually, I'm not playing, but I am playing.
MBTI를 제가 2014년에 처음 해봤는데 아니, 근데 그 당시에도 이미 저희도 그 상담 선생님이 저한테
끔찍했구나.
이미 학계에서도 이게 지나간 이론이라고
That's what you
통계,
said.
그러니까 통계가 많다고 했어.
이미
Okay, also, I don't know if I said it. The test that I was trying to say was MMPI,
Okay,
which is why either I said it and I was right, or I just accidentally said MBTI.
you did.
But MMPI and MBTI are way too close to each other, and they
Yeah,
should rename both of them.
Excuses.
근데 이게 몇 년이 지나고 갑자기 대유행이 되더라고 이 MBTI가. 그리고 제가 봤을 때 MBTI 문항 같은 것도 아까도 어릴 적 방학 계획표 이런 거 좀 문제도 좀 진화돼야 될 것 같아요.
It's so fun though.
너무 재밌었고 그리고 친구들한테 들어보니까 요즘에는 그냥 이걸 듣자마자 이제 그 사람을 판단해 버리려고 하는 경향이
Oh,
좀
I
있더라고요. 재미는 재미다.
저도 이제 뭐 분량
Jimin's like talking specifically to you. I think we should just for fun.
바꿔가면서 했지만 이게 이 선택지가 너무 부족하다는 게
맞아.
그러니까 여러 가지 우리 모든 답들이 다 주관식이면 모르겠다만
그렇지.
Also,
그러니까
people
여러분들은
interpret questions way differently too.
Yeah.
Like you can ask the same person the exact same question, and one person will totally overthink it and be like, "Well, I'm not that way in the morning, but I am that in the evening, so I'm gonna put no."
Yeah.
재미로 그리고 방탄소년단은 MBTI를 이렇게 생각한다. 이 정도만 알아주셨으면 좋겠고
우리 성격이
재밌었어요.
저희 MBTI는 ARM.
A for awesome.
And then RM. And then Y.
저는 되게 재밌었고요. 저는 사실 MBTI 잘 믿는 사람이기 때문에
Aww.
난 잘 믿어. 그리고 아까 태영 형이 물이 없다고 했는데 불이 없다고 했나?
Fire.
물이 없다고 했죠. 그 연습생 때 태영 형과 제가 많이 혼났던 이유가 있습니다.
They did?
불이 많고 물이 없거든요.
Hey.
잘 맞네.
아 오케이.
아무튼 오늘 너무 재밌었고 또 뭐 몇 년 뒤엔 또 MBTI 대신 또 뭐가 나오지 않겠습니까? 그때 또
Oh, I'm sure.
시간 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다.
오케이 좋아요.
자, 모두
That was really
과요
fun.
불급이라고 하지 않습니다.
맞습니다.
오늘 저희 검사 결과도
I really did.
재밌고 서로를 그냥
This was such a random video for BTS to do. I feel
I
like
know.
I'm glad they did
I'm
it. This
excited
is
we
sick.
jumped on it quickly.
I
for
wonder.
once.
So is Myers Briggs like super trendy in Korea right now? Because
I
I would
don't
say
know.
like it's relatively popular in US, but I wouldn't
But I
say
feel like
like
it's been popular for like 10 years.
yeah, and not like crazy popular.
You know what's
Just-
really popular here in the US? Love languages.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's getting more and more traction.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep, Facebook told me so.
이었다라고 이렇게 좀 생각해 주시면
That's how I like it.
Yeah.
It's just a way to understand each other a little bit better.
BTS에게 궁금한 것이 생기면 언제나 이 연구소는 다시 열려
I like the lab.
연구거리를 가지고 찾아오겠습니다.
그때까지 아미 여러분 모두
Oh no! Bye.
That was really fun. What other topics for the lab? I think it would be fun if they did
Love
aptitude.
languages.
Love language would be fun. Aptitude tests would be fun.
Yeah.
Those are the things I can think of off the top of my head. Comment what you guys would want to see them do. I think
Or
those
what
would
you
be
want
super
us to do. Love languages. My love language is, what is it? Words of praise and affirmation. So you guys can give me all the compliments you want in the comments, and I will love you forever. I'm really easy to please. Wesley says touch. So unfortunately, you can't show your love for him, but I will do it for you guys.
good. So
Bye.
uncomfortable.
I know. Bye.